Hi, everybody. Okay, so I found this amazing TikTok. You got to see this.
I think it's time we talk about double standards in the bedroom. No, I'm not naked. Particularly double standards to do with initiation. Whose job is it? The man's, right? Wrong. Men need to be wanted too. Many women I work with, as well as how I used to feel, it's like, how do I know that he wants me? He never even initiates anymore. My number one piece of advice here is literally put those words in his mind as if they were what he's thinking.
Wow.
Because I guarantee you he is also thinking that.
Yes.
He's thinking, I wonder if she even loves me. I wonder if she even likes having sex anymore, because when's the last time she initiated? I get it, as a woman, you want to be like hunted and really desired and like pulled into that sex. However, so do men.
Yes. Okay.
I think it's time we talk about that.
When I saw this, I got like very excited, just because I don't know how it is for other guys, but for me, I have initiated literally everything since I was, I don't know, since my first kiss. Women never ask me out. Women hardly like compliment me. Women definitely don't make a move on me. I do all of it. And for me, it feels like I have this, it feels like a hole inside of me that I've just learned to like put away and desensitize myself from like ever kind of wanting any kind of positive feedback, kind of somebody showing their interest, somebody kind of starting to kiss me, to hook up with me. I would love that. Like, that would be so fucking awesome. But I'm the one that, and so hold on. I gotta turn down this fan. Okay. And you know me, like, I don't ever subscribe to gender norms. So I think I believe all genders should be initiating things. I think all genders should be approaching each other. I think all genders should be complimenting each other, telling each other that you think they're sexy, that you find them attractive, why you find them attractive, dirty talking to each other, not always having the man be the one that initiates. But I'm wondering, the people in the live chat right now, all my guys, all my members, if you are a woman or non-binary, do you feel like it's the other person that needs to initiate sex, to initiate kissing, to initiate dirty talk, to initiate anything that's intimate whatsoever, or even complimentive? And men, do you feel like you are the one that has to do all the heavy lifting in that area? Because I definitely do. I really, dig this person's point of view, so I just, kept clicking around.
Okay, men, repeat after me. Vibrators and dildos are friends, not foes.
Okay.
Okay, men.
I mean, I don't get jealous of that, but also nobody's brought in a vibrator or dildo into the bedroom, so I don't know.
If you feel like you are a hypersexual person, meaning it's something that might even be like a problem in your life because it's always on your mind, it's never not on your mind, and it's something you're ready and willing to do multiple times a day, I'm talking to you. So this doesn't have to be a negative thing. I want to start by saying that, but there is one major reason that could be making that part of your reality. Now what this is an overcompensation for pleasure because there's a lack of pleasure in the rest of your life. Now this is going to be most common for men because men are more harshly conditioned in our society to not be allowed to have pleasure in other areas that aren't really genitally focused or to do with maybe a burger and a beer. Women...
I thought she said generally focused, but I now realize she said genitally. All right. Let's see here. Let's click around. Are you doing the porn tongue?
When it comes to going down on your leg...
Whoa. Hylian or Hylian Hedgehog just donated $2. Thank you so much. That means so much. And It's going towards the couch fund. So the podcast could have actual real life guests in person, and we'll hang out on the couch and talk. Anyway, let's continue.
Porn really teaches us the wrong thing, and I call it the porn tongue. What the porn tongue is this. Shit doesn't feel good. So if you're doing that, stop doing that. And let me know in the comments what your lady actually likes.
Interesting.
When it comes to going down on your
I want to
lady...
see what the comments say. Side to side. Justin Long says side to side. Carpe Diem says clockwise. T. Pearson says, but she likes blah, 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 blah. It's called fence painting. Circles. All right. Okay. Next. Let's get some other juicy vids.
Yep. And you're going to jail. Yeah.
I'm wondering if anybody here doesn't like to go down on the other person. That would be interesting to know. Let me know in the chat. Twerk.
If you are a yoni owner, or anyone who considers themselves to be a woman, you gotta know way around your own pussy if you ever want anybody to be good at going down there. Because if you don't know your own way, what can you expect? If you are...
She's funny. Let's see what else we got. Let's watch one more. Bedroom tip for ladies.
Let's talk about balls, with an emphasis being on not forgetting about them. For a lady, balls can be kind of scary, honestly, because it's like, they seem a little fragile. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know what feels good. I don't know if I'm going to hurt you. So a lot of women just completely avoid the region altogether. And because of this, a lot of guys miss out. So my message for you today, for my ladies, is do not forget about the balls, okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do with them because that is going to be very specific and very personal for your man. But what I will tell you to do is have a conversation about it. Ask him what he likes. Some guys might feel very sensitive in that area and want nothing to do with it. Others might want a little bit of a caressing, a little bit of a spicing up whatever you're doing with the other parts of them. And other guys might want it to be a little bit more extreme where there's a lot more pressure or maybe even impact on their balls. So don't be afraid to ask, and for my men, don't be afraid to speak up. If you want a little bit of ball play, tell your lady, because there's a likely chance that she's a little bit afraid to do it on her own, so encourage her.
I think it's in like that Sublime song where there's like the clip that's like, play with my balls. I don't know any other way to say it. All right, you know what? Enough messing around. Why don't we just bring her in? Why don't we just say hello to her? You know, I think she's had enough time waiting around. Well, guess
Hello.
what? She's here. She's here in the flesh. It's a surprise, everybody. It's a freaking surprise. Hi there, Hannah.
Hello, hello, hello. I just had about 45 different renditions of that, like Samuel Jackson meme. Surprise, motherfucker. Surprise, motherfucker. In my head when you said surprise.
Nice. Yeah. Well,
Very
that's
happy
actually,
to be
yeah.
here.
I should get a sound bite, you know? So whenever I surprise the audience with something, it has his sound bite. How do I say your last name?
Spanky.
Now, do you think it's like coincidence that you got into intimacy coaching and your last name is Spanky?
Absolutely not. That's a bigger question. I don't necessarily believe in coincidence.
Oh, wow.
But no, I do not believe it's a coincidence at all. I think my soul signed up to endure all of the expected harassment that came with Spanky as a child. so that I was ready for this life.
Oh, nice. That's dope. I like to hear it that way. Actually, I just think it's a dope ass name. And so like, I feel like you're really fortunate to have that name and to have this profession. Can you actually tell me what exactly is your job?
Yes. So I'm a relationship and sex coach. Those are the words I usually use because there's a million renditions that all kind of say the same thing. Intimacy coach, pleasure coach, whatever. Bottom line is I believe in incredible fucking relationships on every level, baby. Including sex. And that is what I help people do.
Yeah. Love it. So today I want to talk about sex stuff because people don't talk about sex stuff. It's, you know, it's taboo. It's not to be mentioned. But it sounds like you're the type of person, and I'm sure you are, that is big on communication when it comes to sex. Can we talk about that first? Just like, how do you bring up stuff that you want to do without, I don't know, it just comes off kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't come off anyway because I don't do it. Like, I don't bring up certain things like, hey, like we were just talking about the balls. Like, I don't think I've ever been like, hey, play with my balls. Like, I don't know. How do you suggest people bring it up in a way that, I don't know, I guess to me could come off kind of like awkward?
Yep. So I can give you a couple personal examples in just a sec of like how I would go about it now versus how I went about it, I don't know, 6-7 years ago with like first serious relationship kind of situation, living together. Sex wasn't satisfactory. So it's like, what the fuck do I do about this? And at that point, I did not have the skill sets that I have now, you know? And so I feel like that's a probably relatable story of just experiencing something that was not what I wanted it to be. And also not really fully knowing what I wanted. That was a big obstacle.
Okay.
Like, I know this isn't right, but I don't know what else to point you at, you know, I don't know what other direction would lead things. And so, this is not what I recommend, but I had sort of like a breakdown moment about it of like, something has to fucking change. And so I approached it in that way, in that relationship. And it ended up being a full-blown like anatomy lesson, like a hands-on, like point and touch kind of situation where we were talking about oral, we were talking about him going down on me and how it's something that.
So what, like, can we get more specific? What was he not doing that you wanted?
Yep. So for the first half of that relationship, what he was not doing in general was going down on me ever. Period.
Got it.
So
how do you do that? How do you talk about that? Like without it coming off also, like you said, like an anatomy lesson. I feel like that would also come off like that would take away the spark and the excitement of just like, ooh, I'm going to go do this. Like, does that happen? And are people scared of that happening?
I would say yes, people are definitely scared of that happening. Yeah. But I think the way around that is really just the mindset shift of like, if you want to have a good time doing literally anything, you need to know what the fuck you're doing, you know? Yeah. And so would you have that same sort of approach? Like, I mean, you, as far as anybody, would somebody have that same mindset of like, maybe they got a new job in an office and like, they need to learn how to use the copy machine, but they're just not going to ask anybody because it's kind of weird, like to get that sort of instruction when like, it's just a copy machine. Everyone should kind of know what to do with it. No, that wouldn't happen, you know? So it's kind of just like peeling away the stigma that we all just have and don't question around why is it awkward? Is it because there's shame tied to it? Surprise, that's the answer. But there doesn't need to be. And so that's my 2 cents there is like, realizing that it's not actually awkward. You've just learned that it's supposed to be and it's not. Yeah. And so undoing that, giving yourself the space to have the conversation, because in my experience, in any experience I've ever had sexually, both partners want it to go well. Yeah. Right? Both partners want it to be enjoyable for themselves and for the partner. And there's no way to ensure that without talking about it.
Okay. All right. So let's now go back to this experience with your past partner and that he wouldn't go down on you, and you taught him. Is that right? You taught this man. Yeah. Okay. Now, was it that, okay, first of all, the question is, was it that he didn't like going down, that he thought it was weird or gross or anything like that?
Yep. So I was the first person he had ever gone down on when that finally happened, but his reasoning was just, it was just like this, like gross, taboo sort of a thing. And funny enough, the thing that changed his mind about it, other than like all of his friends kind of bagging on him about it, was Lil Wayne rapping about like eating pussy and how he's this like pussy eating monster, and it's so great. And so at the time, that was inspiration for that part.
Wow. And so how did that pop up? You showed it to him, or did he just heard the song?
So it was always a discussion of like just the fact that that wasn't happening. And he just, so it was always kind of in the air. We were always sort of talking about it, not in a serious way, but it was just kind of always discussed, kind of.
Now, were you going on him, down on him? Got it. So he always received, but he thought it was gross to do to reciprocate. Okay, so that was one of the first experiences you had in this kind of area of like communicating. What about like the ideal situation? So like your current partner or something like that. Say you want to talk to your current partner about something sexual. How would you bring it up in the most ideal way?
Yeah. In the most ideal way, I would do it in a non-sexual setting.
Oh.
That would be the most.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Okay, can we role play the conversation? Because I'm still really kind of like, okay, but what do you say? Like, you know?
Right.
Okay, cool. Are you cool with this?
Yep, totally. You want me to start it, or do you want to start it?
Yeah, no, I want you to be the person that does the communication, because I don't know. I have no idea. And I kind of need to hear it from your perspective. Okay. So what is my deficiency?
Let's say you are going down on me, and this is a common experience that I've had with many partners. So like it's something that's real.
Okay.
You're going down on me, thinking that you're doing a good job because maybe I have an orgasm at the end. So there's a success, like a mark of success.
Got it.
But the pleasure during the whole experience isn't really there because you are licking all over the place in areas that aren't really pleasurable.
Got it. Okay. All right. I got it. I know my role. Let me enter character. Got it. All right. So,
you ready?
How's your day, Hannah?
It's babe to you, first of all.
Babe, do you want some more coffee?
I do, actually. Will you bring me some? And then I want to talk to you. Can we talk for a minute?
Sure, yeah. Fine. All right, here's your coffee. What's up?
Thanks, babe. So just I just want to make sure you have like 10 or 15 minutes. We can kind of talk about something kind of serious.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, is everything okay?
Oh yeah, no worries at all. Everything's totally fine. I just don't want to like bring up a conversation if you were about to go do something.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. What's going on?
Cool. So I want to talk to you about a little bit of sex stuff, some stuff I just want to kind of discuss. But first, I want to know if there's anything you want to talk about in that department.
No, but now I feel like I'm doing something really wrong. What
Don't
have
worry.
I done?
I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to worry at all.
Okay.
So what I want to talk about, you're not like in trouble. There's nothing wrong at all, but I just want to talk about optimizing everything so that it can be as fucking awesome as possible for both of us.
Okay. All right. How do I do that?
Okay, cool. So when you go down on me, you know how sometimes you'll be spending a lot of time on my clit and then you will kind of venture around and move down and you'll be licking down lower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to show you. Can I show you with my fingers?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, ready? Here's my pussy.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you with my fingers.
Oh, wait. So hold on.
So
Are you literally going to do that? Are you literally going to like take your pants off with your partner and be like, let me show you?
in my situation with my partner, probably, but if not, like I would literally use my hand or something as like a little demonstration spot.
Wow. Yo. You're like opening my mind. So wait, are you like, all right, just like let's reverse these roles though. Am I like, all right,
Okay.
here's my dick. Are you ready? Let me show you. Like, that just sounds, I feel like that's easier for a woman to say. I feel like for a man, maybe I should just, maybe like it should just be more of like verbal, very visual when, you know, instead of me whipping it out and, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I kind of get like the sense from that answer, what could be like deep down underneath that, because I think it's a common thing for like most guys would probably agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Of like, it's easier for a woman to do that than a guy. I think part of that belief is just a societal thing of like, not wanting to like force yourself on a woman or not wanting to be seen as like obscene or inappropriate or something like that.
Yeah, that.
And so,
and also, guys' dicks are ugly to women. Guys, women's vaginas are beautiful. So that's that
not true. I mean, yes, true, they're beautiful, but I don't believe that all women think penises are ugly.
Okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so anyway, let's get back to the role play. So you are demonstrating.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so in this area, like up at the top, when you're staying in this area, like on my clit, that feels really, really, really good. And I really like it when you do that.
Okay.
So that feels really good. But then when you move down a little bit more, it's just not as pleasurable. And so would you be willing to just stay more focused on this area?
Wow. Yo, okay. I think I just literally just needed to hear you say that to hear how easy that is. It just didn't sound as scary and as awkward as I thought it was in my head. That's pretty dope. I dig this. Okay, already off, you know, on the right track. We're off to a good start. All right. Next is would you ever coach your partner as it was like, let's say I still just was not listening to you. I thought I was, but I'm not. Would you ever in the moment coach?
Yep.
And how would you do that?
So, I would do that using a certain set of principles of communication that are like tried and true. Like there's nothing bad that could come from them. It's one of the things I work with my clients on a lot, actually.
Wait, can I guess really quick? Is it the compliment sandwich?
No, but that works too.
Okay. All right.
Not quite, but that is also awesome.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So how I would go about it in the moment, because that's when things really feel like a lot's on the line, right? It's like, oh shit, if I say something, he's going to get his ego kind of bruised. Or the guy might be thinking, I'm not saying anything because I'm not going to risk losing this attention that I'm getting right now.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So,
It's like, well, if you want to do, if you know so much, why don't you do it yourself?
Yep. Right. So it's like there's stereotypes on both sides of the fence of like why we aren't communicating in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And I think a really good thing to relate this to that's super understandable is think of sports teams. Literally any sport ever that is a team sport, they're communicating the entire time, before, after, and during the game. And so why would that be any different for sex, which is a very team sport, right? You can't have sex by yourself. You need two people at least.
Yeah.
So that interactiveness, it gets really like all this stuff that's on it. It just doesn't need to be on it, because really what we're doing is we're just doing something as a team.
Yeah.
So it needs to be talked about. And so in the moment, the way I go about it is, number one, focusing on what I do want and not what I don't want. So instead of saying like, oh, no, that was too much pressure, I don't like that. I would say, babe, can you go a little bit lighter?
Got it. Okay.
So it's like giving them feedback in a way that's affirmative rather than like, you're wrong.
And then also, if they're doing something right, say, keep doing that. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So like, as awkward as it might sound in your head, really bringing please and thank you into the bedroom, because it's just a way for you to communicate with love what it is that you're asking for. And by saying please, it really makes it a request rather than a demand or a command. You know, it's like, could you please do more of that? And it doesn't have to be weird. You're not like, thank you for my food, waiter, please and thank you. Like, it doesn't have to be awkward, but you can kind of sex it up a little bit. Be like, thank you. Like, oh, fuck, that's what I wanted. And just really affirming in a way that's like a good boy.
Got it. Yeah.
Partner back and forth.
So making them feel sexy by doing it correctly. I like that. That's really good.
Yep.
Dang. Okay. All right. Next question. Is there one right way to go down on somebody, or is it, or let me ask you this. Is there like a good takeaway for everybody? Is there some technique you could do going down on somebody that you know is going to be work most of the time outside of their like little preferences they have?
Yes. Are you talking about female or male?
Either. Whatever you think is, more common. A more common interest for people. What people ask you more about.
Well, yes. I'm going to say yes, just on either side. I think that the bottom line answer for the right way, if there was a right way, is whatever it is, whatever kind of genitals you're going down on, having a fundamental understanding of the anatomy, literally. Like, what part of this is erectile tissue, which is going to be pleasurable? What part of this is not, which is not going to be pleasurable? Where's the most nerve endings? Where's the least amount of nerve endings? How much of this is just skin? How much of this is meant for something?
Okay.
And so just really understanding what it is that you're going down on, so that you understand where it is pleasurable on that thing or in that thing.
Okay, so for the yoni, like you say it, the yoni is another word for vagina, pussy, whatever you want to call it. Yoni is the most beautiful name for it. Okay, so what is the 80-20 rule for going down on the yoni?
Yep. So the huge thing that's like so underrated to know is when it comes to erectile tissue, male anatomy is going to be a lot quicker to be ready to go, right? Like, as we've all seen before, it's like sometimes it can take seconds for you to have a fully hard dick. Sometimes it might take minutes, whatever. But it's available pretty quickly for the most part.
Yeah.
For women, the female anatomy, a yoni anatomy, has just as much erectile tissue as a dick, if not more, but it's spread out and it's in different areas. And so allowing enough time for that arousal to actually take place is so crucial for it being awesome. It's the equivalent, if you don't give it that time and space, it's the equivalent of trying to like jerk off a half chub. You just wouldn't do that.
Wow.
It just wouldn't feel that good. And that's what most women are experiencing.
How do
And
you know when the woman is ready? Aside from verbal, like obviously, do you want to have sex? I get that. But like kind of just, let's say you're going down on the person. Are there any signs?
Yep. So the clitoris, you could think of the clitoris as sort of like the penis equivalent, basically. It's kind of like the head of the penis equivalent. So the clitoris has a shaft, just like the shaft of a penis, and it has like a head, kind of just like the head of a penis. And so as the arousal builds, all of that tissue will also become aroused. It'll be physically erect. And so it'll literally, you can feel it. It'll either be soft and like smashable normally, or it'll be like a little tiny miniature boner.
And engorged.
So you'll be able to feel it. Yes, fully engorged.
Got it. Okay. By the way, somebody in the chat asked, it takes me 5 minutes to get fully hard. Is that something I should be concerned about?
No. I'm assuming that's a male person asking.
I'm assuming that's a male asking.
Yeah, okay. No, I wouldn't say that that's something to worry about, but if it feels like it shouldn't take that long to them, uniquely to them, if it feels like it could or should be happening faster, I would look into what's the disconnect there. Is it something that's like a mental thing? Are you thinking about how much work you have to do tomorrow while you're trying to get your dick hard?
Yeah.
That's got to stop. You know, you got to be able to drop into your body so that it can work for you, rather than trying to take both things at once with the physical pleasure and all the mental shit.
Got it. And I guess I'm just gonna start jumping around with questions that I've received. What about dick size? Let's put this to rest. Is there a perfect dick size for women? Is there a size where it's just like, okay, that's too small and we have to compensate somehow otherwise? Tell me about that.
Yep. Sensitive territory. Okay. So perfect dick size, I don't think so, because I mean, every woman is going to have her own preferences as far as girth, like how much width does she want inside of her. It's going to be different for every woman's anatomy. And then also for every woman's body throughout the month, the length of the actual vagina changes depending on where the cervix is.
Whoa. Okay.
So the cervix, which is kind of like the doorway between the vaginal canal and the uterus, it moves up and down in the canal throughout the month, depending on period, menstruation, ovulation, all that stuff. So sometimes a woman's vagina might be 7 inches long. Sometimes it might be 4. So that's definitely a factor. Like, you know, that makes the dick size a little bit less relevant, because it's going to feel different at different times anyways, no matter what the size is.
Got it.
And then as far as like, is there a too small or too big kind of thing? The too big thing, I think, is a preference also, of like, how much dick do you want, you know?
Yeah.
And then the too small thing, really the only thing I could think of as an obstacle, truly an obstacle, would be like legit micro penis kind of situation where it's like an inch long.
Yeah.
That could be an issue because you can't stimulate what needs to be stimulated inside.
All right. You hear that, guys? So if your penis is an inch long, that would be the cutoff. And then talk to a professional, I would say. Okay, now, why do you think this kind of myth was created about big PP equals better feeling for the woman? And why do well, women genuinely believe that too? Some women.
Yeah. So as you were asking that right now, like I could assume what the question was, and I thought, I don't know. And then like full clarity here. So honestly, I think that has come partially from just the patriarchal society that we live in a way, like in the ways that women have been suppressed sexually, especially, and how like the vagina is a fucking mystery to most people. And that's because of that, you know? And so because there's a lack of education and awareness around female pleasure, like widespread as a mainstream thing, I think that in order to feel the most pleasure, they need the most stimulation because they're having sex and having things done to them when they're not ready. And so when your pussy is fully aroused, a 4-inch dick could make your fucking dreams come true.
Yeah.
But when your pussy is like at 20% and someone's trying to fuck you, you're going to need something that's really going to impact and like make a statement in the area for you to feel anything.
Holy shit. You just blew my mind. That was the best answer ever. Holy shit. Damn, that was great. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, now let's talk about like when two people are having sex.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually that the guy finishes first. Would you agree with that?
Mainstream expectations, yes. In my experience, no.
Yeah. But when you say in your experience, you mean personal experience or you mean like experience? Yeah. But what I mean is like, yeah, mainstream expectations, but like what statistics of the world, you know, like has it been that men usually finish early for women?
Early meaning like
before they come.
Yes. Yes, I would say generally across the board, yes. And again, it's the same idea. It's like it just ties so much the same thing every time.
Yeah.
The lack of awareness, understanding of the differences. It's like, oh, well, my dick's hard in 30 seconds and I just came in 3 minutes. So like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I guess you just missed the boat this time.
Yeah.
And that's usually where it stops.
Yeah. Let's talk about that because I have a feeling that's probably one of the most common issues that men and women have in the bedroom is difference in times for getting off. And yeah, like how do we fix that?
It's not just men needing to learn these things. It's women, because when you don't know anything about your own pussy, you can't do anything better with it. You know, so men and women both becoming more educated and aware about what needs to happen in order for it to be the most pleasurable, and understanding for men especially that pleasure is so much bigger than friction on your dick. Pleasure is so many other things that could be explored in the bedroom that could totally balance out that difference of like time needed. If there was less of a focus and pressure on men in our society to not be pleasured. You know, like I think I did a video on this recently. It's okay for a guy to enjoy a burger, enjoy a beer, maybe a sports game, like stereotypically, definitely sex, but outside of that, what is pleasurable for a man?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so like, because of that, when it comes to the bedroom, for most men, I think the expectation is like, I'm going to have pleasure right now because of intercourse.
Yes.
And so if it was expanded, doors open, and then it could be like, I'm going to have a good ass time by massaging my girl's ass for 5 minutes while she just, you know, enjoys it. And she's getting aroused. Her pussy's starting to get to where it needs to be. And he's engaging in pleasure that is not normalized.
Got it. Okay. So like one big thing is like, see the bedroom as, you know, the platform for you guys to enjoy each other, you know, have a great time together, not just say, well, I know my pee-pee feels good when it rubs stuff, so let me rub stuff, and that's it. You know, like, it's like, actually, let's see the penis being touched as part of the big picture in the bedroom. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yes, totally. And as you said that, another thought popped up of like taking orgasm away, not because you shouldn't have them, but because you don't need a goal to have sex. You don't need a goal to have pleasure. And when there is a goal, I feel like it takes our attention away from other things.
Okay. So does a woman need to have an orgasm in order to have an A+ time in the bedroom?
I would say that nobody needs to have an orgasm to have an A+ time,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody should have access to it.
Yeah. Um, Now, what if there is that, difference between the man and the woman, for instance, let's say the guy takes a half an hour to come and, the girl might take a full hour. What are ways to, if she wants that to happen to her, what are ways to help help make that happen, but in the time that she wants it to, and how she wants it to, and like you said, I think there's women that don't even really know how they want it to happen. How could we get it so men and women are having orgasms together?
Yep. So my thought there is, like, for like the fourth time, more education and awareness on her arousal, just so that it's like it's not a mystery anymore about why this is going on for every couple, and like I said, in my experience, that hasn't been the case with like the guy coming first, and it's for this exact reason, because I understand that my male partner is typically going to be able to finish and have the full experience just from penetration in just a few minutes, or 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. But I know that that's achievable, and I don't know that that's achievable for me. And so that's prioritized. And so it's like they'll go down on me or do something that ensures my orgasm first before penetration is even a thing.
Whoa. Wow. And that's good, like going down on the person, fingering, playing with the clit. Now, if like, let's say for instance, the man is trying to do all those things, but like nothing's happening. Communicate with the person, ask them questions, how could I make you come? All that good stuff. Do you have any like tips for fingering, playing with the clit, or how about like even facilitating an orgasm?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Lots of tips. So, first answer here is everybody, man and woman, everybody needs to have a pleasure scale. 10 being climax, and then everything else is still pleasure, and so that changes the question when you're in the giving position or the receiving position. You're trying to communicate what you want. It allows the person giving to say, what would move you closer to a 10, rather than how do I make you come? Because most times you're not going to get a clear answer. It's like, how do I make you come? Well, I don't know. It puts a lot of pressure to have like a right answer and a like blueprint to hand over, whereas if someone said, where are you at on your pleasure scale right now? And I said, I'm at a 4. Okay, what would bring you closer to a 5 or a 6? Oh, maybe if you put a little bit more pressure on that spot. And so it's kind of like a dance back and forth with the communication, rather than here's the answer, do it. Having a back and forth and allowing that build up to the 10. So you're both kind of exploring at the same time. And then as far as internal stimulation with fingering, so the G spot, the mysterious G spot, it is not a spot. It is a section. It's like a couple inches long. So inside of the vagina on the upper side. So like if you stick your fingers in, like pushing up that side. So about 1.5 inches, 2 inches inside and up, that's the G-spot area. So that's all you need to do. Like friction is what's gonna arouse a penis because
Mm-hmm.
all of the erectile tissue is on the outside, so they
Mm-hmm.
need that movement back and forth. For a pussy, you don't need friction in that same way because the vaginal opening isn't that, there's not that many nerves.
Mm-hmm.
And so we
Hmm.
need pressure rather than friction in that G
Hmm.
spot zone. So you can make it so much easier on yourself as a man. You don't need to do a fucking shoulder workout where you're like, you know, trying
Huh.
to stay 100 miles an hour with your fingers. You don't need to do it. You can go in a couple inches and push up and like come hither with your fingers. And that's
Hmm.
all you got to do.
Damn. Now,
Mm-hmm.
push up hard, push up medium, push
Hard.
up soft, hard.
Hard, but internal, again, all of that erectile tissue is going to take a little bit longer to get fully ready.
Yeah.
And so external stimulation is usually going to be best to be first before internal.
Hmm.
And then you can go internal, you can do both, do all kinds of blended stuff.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Um, and doing that, how long do you think, on average, it takes for a woman to have an orgasm?
I would say it completely depends because with every woman's yoni, the innervation, like where all the nerves are at, is going to be completely different. So some women, it's going to be super, super powerful sensation just on her clit and maybe not really outside or anywhere else as strongly as that area. Whereas I've had female clients where they could have clit stimulation for a long time and nothing really happens, but put something in their ass and they can come in 30 seconds. And so the nerves all over the place is something to explore as a woman for yourself and with your partner, like doing it with them. Like, what does this feel like? How good does this feel? How good does this feel? And kind of mapping out what feels the best for this pussy right here in front of my face. And then you'll have that confidence to go forward with. It's like, okay, I know this button and this button works and this one's like not too hot.
Okay. It really does seem like the number one thing is communication and like team effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so we have a question that says, what should be said in order to bring the mood back when your partner gets frustrated after getting feedback? That was a question.
That's a valid question. I'm sure there's a lot of people asking it in their head, at least. Yeah. My first thought is like, okay, the question seems premature. Like, what is being communicated initially? Are you focusing on what they're doing wrong? Are they focusing on what's not working? Because nobody wants that feedback. Nobody.
Yeah.
In any field. Doesn't matter if you're in the bedroom or you're on fucking American Idol. Nobody wants to hear how bad they are.
Yeah.
You know? And so inviting your partner into what will feel good for you is the way out of that. It's like, let's just pretend that does happen. Somebody's pissed off, feelings got hurt. Babe, I'm really sorry. That's not how I meant this to go, but I see that what I said caused some harm. So would you be willing to explore this different area with me? Because I'm still really wanting to connect with you in this way if you are.
Got it. Yeah. So it's also about just like making sure that person feels like, I think something like, you know, you are amazing. Like the way that you make me feel is amazing. And because of that, that is why I feel comfortable enough to tell you what I want. Whereas if I didn't think you were capable, I probably wouldn't even bring it up or something like that, you know?
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Safety.
Now going back to that person that asked about taking 5 minutes to get hard, they followed up with, do you think porn usage affects it?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that.
Yep. So just the same way your Instagram hit a dopamine all day long whenever you open your phone for 5 seconds, you pop on the app to the point where it's like robotic. You don't even know. And then you're like, oh, what the fuck am I doing? Get off the app.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. So then when you're going on a walk out in nature, out in your local park with no phone, you're probably thinking like, this is just a fucking park. What am I even doing here? Like, we're so disconnected from enjoying the simple things. And so same exact idea applies to porn. It's like when you're so used to seeing some elaborate, very performative, like maybe fetish even type of stuff that is the thing you're using to get your arousal, then the everyday blowjob is gonna not really feel that appealing. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. Yeah. So it's like you've kind of brought your standard of what turns you on up to such a high level, because, you know, when people watch porn, they don't just watch one video. They'll have like 5 tabs open, clicking porn video, porn video, porn video, and all of that stimulation compared to the real thing, even though the real thing is obviously better, you know, you kind of like messed with your brain's, you know, technology, mechanics.
Yep. It's like eating McDonald's every day and then feeling like it's taking so fucking long to get your food at Applebee's. You know, like you got to just manage your own expectations and make sure you're not really fucking them up.
Interesting. Now, for like, what do you think is the average amount of time for a woman to have orgasm with sex?
Like with vaginal intercourse?
Yeah, vaginal intercourse.
I would say more than 20 minutes, honestly, is my like best ballpark to just throw out there as like a general thing.
Yeah.
Because I think in general, most women are so disconnected from their own sexual pleasure that it's not even really a thing. It's not even very available. It's like you're a unicorn kind of a woman if you can just come from getting fucked without needing some sort of other stimulation, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I guess there needs to be so much more communication and openness when it comes to women's sexual pleasure, because I do agree with you. I do think the way society is set up, it's not really made for women to be pleasured. It's for women to pleasure, to bring pleasure. Yeah, that's such a good point. Okay. What about squirting? So we received a question about from a woman, how can I make myself squirt? Or is that even not possible for certain women and only possible for some? And my question, part of it is squirting pleasurable, or is it just a thing that happens? Is it only pleasurable when it's connected to an orgasm? Like, can you even talk about squirting in general? Great.
Yep. I have all the answers, all of them. So first, every single female anatomy, every yoni should be able to squirt. There's no reason that, like, there's no biological reason why somebody wouldn't be able to. There can be mental reasons, there can be, you know, different things that have you blocked off, whatever, but it's available to everybody. So that being said, in order to do it, here's the little anatomy lesson for you. So the G-spot, internally on the ceiling, a couple inches in, that pleasure is actually coming from the erectile tissue. It looks like a tube-shaped sponge that surrounds the urethra. And so the G-spot is like basically a boner around your pee tube. And so your urethra is like your urethral opening where you would pee from is where the liquid that comes with squirting comes out of, because it is coming from your bladder. And so there's, again, with just the lack of research and attention on all of this, generally, there isn't concrete Western science type of stuff that says this is right or wrong. But what the literature points to is, like, you could go pee your heart out right before a sex session, and then you can squirt. And it's like, where did this come from? Where did this liquid come from? I didn't need to pee. There's nothing in my bladder.
Yeah.
The body is pulling, like, toxic water, pulling stuff through the kidneys into the bladder, just dumping this liquid into the bladder with the arousal, because our bodies are so fucking intelligent that we have this mechanism. And the squirting is literally like a release of all of those toxins, of all of that stuff that needs to get out. And so you'll notice, if you ever experience squirting, like yourself or with your partner, it doesn't smell like pee. It's different. It's different. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah.
But the way that you can, and also it's most times somebody squirts, it is not an orgasm. It's a completely different function. It's a physical reflex, but it's not an orgasm.
Now, does it feel
And
good
so,
for women if it's not an
yes, it
orgasm?
can feel very good. Yeah, it can feel very good. It feels like a pleasurable release, just the same way that like getting a massage would feel good, but
Got
not
it.
necessarily like
Got
an
it.
orgasm. And so it can be stimulated through rubbing the outside of the urethral opening or internally stimulating the G-spot like really hard. And so if you ever buy a G-spot toy that is made out of silicone, fucking throw it away because it's marketing and it's bullshit. You need something that is really, really hard. So either like a glass toy or a black obsidian or rose quartz or something that's like a crystal toy.
Wow.
Those are best for G-spot stimulation. And it's really just like going ham on that little section on the roof of the inside. And typically you can squirt better after you've already had an orgasm or two. So if you can be aroused, you can come through your clit, whatever it's going to get you going. Then when it starts to feel like you might pee, just fully surrendering, like relaxing and letting it happen. It can kind of feel like you're peeing, but it feels a lot better.
Got it. This is getting into some advanced territory here, Hannah. It's after the second orgasm, then you allow the person to squirt. But so, you know, asking on behalf of women, just to, you know, calm their fears, is there ever a time where it will be pee and it's like, oh no, I actually peed instead of squirted? Okay. Let's let's hear about that.
Yep. So it's just if maybe you didn't pee before sex, or maybe you like drank a lot of water, drank a lot of something for some reason. And so let's say you just went pee, you start the session, and then 45 minutes later, you might actually have to pee again.
Okay.
You know, and so when the liquid comes out, it can be mixed with urine because it is coming from the bladder.
Yeah.
And really, like the worst case scenario there is that it kind of smells like pee. And so that's it. You know, everyone's going to have their own personal standards there, but for me, it's just like, it is what it is. Do it on a towel, wash it.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Okay. And so to also put rest the question that squirting is just pee, you would say like yes and no.
Yeah, I would say it can be mixed with urine because it is coming from the bladder and out the urethra.
Yes.
But it is a different liquid substance.
Wow.
It's clear.
Okay.
And pulled from the body.
You heard it here. You heard it here, everybody. It is not actual urine.
It is not.
Okay. Is there anything a guy could do to last longer? And then they say, if I'm not super aroused, I could last half an hour. But if I am, it's like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yep. So mental first is like self-control, practice. You know, of you're not going to mentally like talk your dick out of feeling what it's feeling, but you can physically stop. You know, you could slow down. You could pull out for 60 seconds while you make out with her really intensely before you insert your dick back inside. Something like that. But a manual way is, I call it like a jewel pull. So what you'll do is when your arousal level, pleasure scale 1 to 10, 10 being orgasm, when your pleasure scale is at like a 6, 7, you feel like you're getting close to coming. It could be 30 seconds away or something. You can grip around the scrotum above your testicles and around either the base of your dick or the head of your dick, one or the other, just whatever feels more comfortable for you, and pull in opposite directions while you take a couple deep breaths. So what that's going to do is pulling the jewels, the actual like balls, away from the body and away like in an opposite direction from the penis, is it's going to slow the emission process of ejaculation.
Whoa.
So it'll give you a little extra time, and you can manually do that and then go back at it. And you can do it a few times, as many times as you want to prolong everything.
That's a great tip. Now, oh man, I just forgot the follow-up question that I had. Oh, does stopping to kind of allow it to kind of chill out so you don't come so quick. Does that kind of like stop the excitement and pleasure for the woman?
Not if she is aroused enough.
Okay. So like she can kind of hold on to the arousal and the good and the pleasure for like a few seconds. Got it. It won't just be like, "Oh, you stopped. Why the fuck did you stop? Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull my dick and balls apart from each other."
Right. Yep. So I mean, I'm not gonna guarantee nobody's gonna get that reaction.
Yeah.
But I think again, it just always comes back to communication. So you don't want to just pull your dick out and like start doing something that she has no idea what's going on and she's like, "What the fuck?" So you want to be able to communicate like, "Hey, I'm going to try this at some point. If I get a little too far, we're going to stop." And there's just so many pleasure zones on anybody's body really, but especially a female body. So like make out with her, pull her hair, grab her titties, like rub her clit, do something.
Got it.
You don't have to, it doesn't have to stop just because the dick stops.
I like that. Okay, we have another question. Are women's breasts generally a sensitive area like the areola?
Yep. Yes. Many women I know, I have experienced this a few times, can have just purely nipple orgasms. So like no genital stimulation at all, just nipple stimulation, breast stimulation. And that's enough to make you come.
Wow.
I've experienced it a couple of times, so it's very real. And also I want to note the breast tissue is an area that women can carry a lot of trauma, especially if it has to do with anything like relationship wise. Sexual trauma can be stored there, as well as in the whole entire pussy area. That's a whole different story. So if you experience any sort of like irritation or like reactivity or pain or numbness in your breast area, nipples, anything else, you can like pull on your nipples and like pull and like let it go, like I don't know, I can't think of it as something that's the same, but kind of like a pulling out and visualizing like pulling that energy out and doing that as like a daily practice, 1 or 2 minutes a day,
like playing with Play-Doh
or something.
I'm just joking.
Exactly.
Oh really? That was that good?
I mean,
I pride myself in metaphor. So simile and metaphor.
That was good.
That was good. That sounded bad, but I was like, let me try it.
Yeah, that worked. It's like something malleable.
Just imagine your boobs are Play-Doh and just start pulling. Okay. Got it. What are your tips of someone who is still a virgin at 29?
So that's just like a general question. What is my tips for them to have sex? Is that the question?
They didn't say. They just said someone's still a virgin at 29. What are your tips? And I mean, take it however you'd like to. Okay.
So this feels very relevant because I currently have a client who is a virgin and she is 26. So pretty same ballpark there. Number one thing is don't make yourself wrong for it and stop making yourself wrong for it. If you are of like, I'm too old, I don't know what I'm doing, this is like something I should have experienced before, like all of that kind of shame spiral, don't subscribe, don't click the bell, do not go there. And then as far as getting into it, realizing if there's any sort of fear that has been built up because of the lack of experience of like shame or fear around, am I going to do it right? Is it going to be good? I'm scared. I might as well just avoid it. Because that's what I've learned through this client experience is it's kind of turned into something that's like, well, it's been this long, so I'll just bypass it a little longer because there's just no comfort built around it. So my number one tip is to build that sexual comfort with yourself first. Explore your own body, explore yourself, figure out what you do like, what you don't like, and do some research. Like if you're into pussy, if you're into dick, whatever, both, Google some stuff, like, I mean, you're listening to this right now. This is research so that you can build your own confidence before you open that door to somebody else.
I like that. And I would say, I don't think you should hide it. Because I think there's probably a lot of tension and anxiety with the whole idea of like, oh my God, what if she knows I'm a virgin? Is she going to think that I'm bad? Oh, what if he knows I'm a virgin? Is he going to think that I'm bad? Or is this weird or whatever? What I would say is if somebody likes you and they're attracted to you, I don't think that you not having had sex with anybody else is going to like piss them off, upset them, make them unattracted. And even and if you approach it in a confident way where you show that you're not insecure or just like really, really insecure, anxious about it. Like obviously you could show that you're anxious and insecure, but what I'm saying is like, don't turn it into a whole thing where like, oh my God, I don't know. Oh my God. Just be like, I'm a virgin and I'm just, right time never came and I can't wait till it comes. Literally. And just kind of make it, just, say it plainly. And I feel like getting that out in the open might make you feel more comfortable being yourself and doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm a huge advocate for this in all things when it comes to communication for couples. It's like as scary and counterintuitive as it is to really just show your shit. I think that is the best way to go about it, because when everything's out on the table, you're able to like bleeding heart really open up of like, this is the truth. And if there are insecurities, if there are fears or something, being able to share that and expressing the full truth of not just like, I'm a virgin and I feel insecure, but like, I'm a virgin and I have a little bit of insecurity around it and I want to talk about it and see how you feel about it. Can we discuss this? So it's like on the table for both parties. And then there's no worries after that. Because I think sometimes that like, let's just put it out there, gets cut off too short. It's like, okay, well, I told him, whew, that's over. And then they spend the next weeks and months and everything spiraling in their mind of like, what are they thinking about this? What are they thinking about that? I wonder what they're thinking about me. And so just really allowing yourself to go there with like a vulnerable conversation and holding space for the fact that you might not get the reaction you want, but you'll know, there won't be any worry. There won't be any stress around coulda, shoulda, woulda kind of things.
I like that. All right. Do you have any advice that you want to give that we may not have talked about yet? Like something that everybody deals with, and if you could just say this, you could really knock out so much of the world's sex problems.
Yeah.
We covered that communication. We covered like, turning the bedroom into a place for play rather than a place to just get off as fast as possible. All right, sorry, I cut you off. Keep going.
Oh no, you're good. So really just fully grabbing onto the idea, this is like a mindset thing, I guess, that there's no competition when it comes to pain and there's no competition when it comes to pleasure. And so it's like, if you think that your partner's not doing something good enough, there's no reason to make them wrong for it, because could be a two-way street, And so like, however you are currently suffering in that department, that could be possible for them too in some other way. And so just knowing that whatever you're struggling with, it's not a better or worse thing than what they could be struggling with, because that's how conflict comes into the bedroom. So just like having the space for everyone to have issues come up and have that be okay. And then also realizing that pleasure isn't a competition either. So if you're in the giving position and your neck is going to give out because you've been doing something for 30 minutes and like you cannot fucking stand it anymore, I see it as that person's responsibility to advocate for their own pleasure, so that there's no resentment that builds around like, oh, every time I suck his dick, this and this happens, and oh, my knees hurt, oh, this, or every time I go down on her, she takes so long and my neck hurts by the end of it. Like, all of that is avoidable, and it doesn't build those little micro resentments that end up being bad things. All of that is avoidable when we all take responsibility for our own comfort and pleasure. So if it's like, hey babe, it's going to be a lot easier for me to eat your pussy for hours, and there'll be no question if I get on the floor on a pillow on my knees and you're on the bed, so that my neck's not fucked up. So
Wow.
just really allowing you to be creative with everybody's comfort in mind.
Yeah, just getting a lot more creative. Now what
Mm-hmm.
about like fetishes and bringing that up to your partner and feeling insecure about the fetishes that you want? And to, to just feel strange if they go, ew, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, that's a really real thing. And it's something that, like you said earlier, of like, you need to know that the person you're talking to is going to be able to handle the conversation. So there really needs to be an established safety in
Mm-hmm.
the communication before that, or else it's like what you said earlier, like, I'm just not even going to bring it up because I can expect something to go south.
Hmm.
So making sure that there's an established safety, that you feel like you can bring things up even when they're hard. So
Mm-hmm.
that really the only thing you're struggling with is your own self and not the partner judging you. And then realizing that there is a how do I want to say this? Any shame or struggle you might personally be feeling around your own fetish, around your own acceptance of what it is that you really do want, not letting that bleed into how you tell your partner. Like, let's say you
Mm.
have a tickle fetish and you want your partner to tickle you with feathers for
Yeah.
30 minutes and you're going
Yeah.
to have like crying orgasms and it's everything you
Yeah.
ever wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you like cannot bring it up because what if they think you're weird? What if they think you're
Yeah.
fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Like, you can't bring it up. You're a pussy, like all that kind of stuff. So if you go into the conversation in that energy, like, hey, I got to tell you something, but you're expecting it to go bad, you're bringing all that shame with you,
Mm.
that's going to be felt and reciprocated,
Yeah.
and so just really getting clear with yourself that like, it's okay, this is okay. And that's that my firm belief, our fetishes are okay, you're allowed to have
Yeah.
fantasies.
Yeah.
We all eroticize weird shit that we've
Mm-hmm.
been through. It's a way that we can
Yeah.
process it truly and
Hmm.
heal. And so allowing yourself to be okay with whatever it is before you bring it up, because any shame you have is going to get brought to that conversation.
Got it. Okay. Great. Now, is there any fun thing that two people could do in a bedroom that they're not doing, but it's outside of what we already talked about? Like, is there any, I don't know, something that could just automatically add to the fun, to the pleasure, to the experience that, like I said, if you could just tell everybody, sex would be so much better in the bedroom.
Uh-huh.
Like
Having
a sex
dedicated time,
position. Say it. Sorry.
having dedicated time, you're totally good,
Yeah.
where there is a clear giver and a clear receiver, and
Mm.
not just for the sake of everybody's having sex. Because like oftentimes there's a giver, there's a receiver, like maybe you're getting your pussy eaten or you're sucking someone's dick or something, and like it's just a step on the way to the full-blown thing, you're gonna have sex, it's all gonna
Mm-hmm.
be over, everybody's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Carving out dedicated time for each partner to be fully in that receiver mode with no expectation and no like commitment to anything happening after that. So that could
Mm.
be giving each other massages once a week.
Mm.
It could be laying each other down, like one person down on the bed, blindfolding them and doing whatever you want, exploring their body, kissing them, feeding them chocolate, like getting really creative with how you can play with each other, but in a way that is completely boundaried off of like, this is your time and this is my time. And then you
Mm.
can both explore what you might want to do in those times. That's separate from just having sex.
Wow. Okay, and are you saying like your time and their time as in different events, like actually not in the same? Got it. So it's like, all right, well, this is like you said, the massage or something like that. That is just for this person that I'm doing it for. And then maybe later on in the week, that person could do it to me, type of thing.
Yep.
Cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, Damn. I feel like I could keep going for hours and, asking questions. And I feel like we're just, touching the surface. And there's so much more like deep stuff also to unravel about people's emotions and anxieties. And I feel like you know so much more about that, but I also want to be respectful of your time. We've been going for over an hour already.
Have we? Oh shit, we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I want to thank you so much for coming on today, Hannah.
Thank you so much for having
You're
me.
a
This has
dope.
been so fun.
You're a dope relationship and sex coach. How did you get into it?
All kinds of backwards ways. Yep. So very short version. I graduated high school like days after I turned 16. So I was like full-fledged adult world without really being ready for it.
Oh, wow.
Went to college. I was on fast track to medical school. Realized after dropping out and going back like 6 or 7 times, that wasn't going to work for me. Needed to be something on my own, entrepreneurial. Spun my wheels with a million different entrepreneurial things, sales jobs, that sort of stuff. While I stepped into the sex industry. So for 6.5, 7 years, I did that. Stripping, escorting, dabbled in porn a little bit, like all kinds of stuff. And so that was where I really got a lot of hands-on learning and realized like through countless experiences that everybody wants to have love and be loved. And most people don't know how to do it. And so I really learned all about that inside out from behind the scenes in all of those settings. And then discovered coaching like as a thing a few years ago. And that was it. It was just poof, magic started, and then everything kind of started to develop.
Damn. Yeah, you're such a great voice for this topic because you are equally like really welcoming, but also like straightforward and direct, which is great. Great balance.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Cool. Well, thanks so much. Anytime you want to come on and chat about more sex stuff, intimacy, relationship stuff, let me know, and I'd love to have you on.
Yeah.
Hell
yes,
yeah,
yes,
dude.
yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Great. Awesome. All right. Cool. You have a good night. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye. She was cool. All right. I'm going to jump in the chat, see what we're talking about over here. Hold on. All right. So it looks like there's been a little conversation going on. Dan's Coma says, sooner or later you learn that saying normal stuff isn't that hard and you'll be used to going up and talking to strangers. And then Artem says, this advice is well intentioned, but so many young guys have been told this but ended up being incels or blackpilled because they were just neurodivergent and used statistics to explain it. Yeah, like it's not wrong, but it's different for different people, which is why I always say you have to find out for yourself. Yeah, there's so much bad advice on the internet in terms of dating, and it's so funny because it's like I feel like black pill, red pill stuff is the same as like a long time ago when somebody didn't know something and then they just said it's ghosts, or it's like a woman was acting weird, so it's like she's a witch, kill her. Or it's like, oh, something in the sky is flying, we don't know what it is, it's an alien. It's like just jumping to the dumbest, most simple, most unverified conclusions because you don't really know the real answer. And so Artem, to kind of talk about what you're saying, which is like there's a lot of incels and black pillars and red pillars that are neurodivergent and or aren't neurodivergent but have, you know, other things going on, and guaranteed 100% most of those red pill, black pill boys have extremely little experience with women in general, and the small experience that they've had turned out being not super positive. And so that experience just painted their reality, their worldview. You know, I was talking to somebody about the difference between the bad dating advice today from the bad dating advice 10 to 20 years ago. Bad dating advice today is really bad because it goes, you had a bad experience with a woman. It's because women fucking suck. You know, like that's the dating advice today. And it's because they just want attention and money from you and they don't care. Like that's the advice. Where the bad dating advice with pickup artists 10 to 20 years ago when they were popular was really bad advice, but at least go out and talk to as many women as you possibly fucking can each day. And so pickup artists, even though they were spinning their wheels as well because the advice was idiotic, they at least had a chance to go out and talk to women in a ton of different situations and do it over and over and over again. So they got to know women. They actually got to talk to them, hang out with them, hook up with them, date them. They got experience. Today, there's really not advice about that. It's just you don't like the situation you're in. It's because they fucking suck. Artem says, my experience that made me black pill was asking out a girl on a date without ever having talked to them at school and then being ghosted. One rejection, I was already down the rabbit hole. Exactly. That is 99% of cases for red pill and black pill. You have extremely little experience. Like, okay, why is it that I'm blue pilled, I'm beta, I'm successful with dating, and I've gotten rejected about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 times more than you have? Why is that? Can you fucking think about it? Oh, it's because you're white. It's because you're not fat enough. I am fat. Maybe not fat enough. It's because you're tall. Wait, you're not tall. Listen, everybody has their shortcomings. Everybody has the things that society doesn't judge as immediately valuable or attractive. And some people, they do. Some people have a lot more things that society deems immediately attractive. But at the same time, on the inside, there's a lot of things that they may be hiding. Life's not fair. Life's not fair. Dating is not fair. However, that doesn't mean that you get angry and then just start making stupid rules. Ghosts are real. Women are just witches. Artem goes on to say, I got a face rating and they told me that I was like a 7.5, potentially 8. And when I told them I had no experience, they called me a liar and a fake cell, then tried to say maybe I was short, but I'm 6 foot. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so fun. Just talking about red pill, black pill stuff, it's so funny. It's so funny because the whole idea of the red pill is like once you take the red pill, your world the mind open ups. You can see the world the way that you've never seen before. It's like you know what the rest of the world cannot accept, cannot see. It is the truth. Oh, what is it? That women are fucking whores. And that if you're not fucking 6 foot and hot and white and have money, women are fucking hate you. They hate you. They think you're the worst thing in the world. Did I just blow your mind? Did I open up your mind? Did I blow your mind at how genius? The truth. It's the truth. Don't you see? Can't you see? And then I love that, some of them go like, I got a comment today on one of my videos and it was like, every girl in nightclubs is just, they just want this, or they're just like this. It's like, don't you see that women are just bad? Like, nightclubs? Who the fuck wants to go to a nightclub? It fucking sucks. I don't ever want to meet a woman at a nightclub. If I'm ever going to go to a nightclub, I'm going to go to just have fun with my friends. Experience an extremely loud, intense event for a couple hours. Why the fuck would I want to go talk to somebody there, meet somebody there, build attraction with somebody there? Why the fuck would I want to do that? And also, I don't like anyone that's at a nightclub. Obviously, I'm being hyperbolic. Obviously, there's great people at nightclubs and stuff. But in general, it's not the type of people I want to generally meet. It's not the environment I want to meet people. Like, there's so many people in the world, and there's so many different kinds of personalities. And just because your little experience has been negative, that doesn't mean that you just go, now that's everyone. Everyone is bad because my one experience was bad. My God. Anybody have any other questions I could potentially answer for you regarding sex, regarding dating, whatever it is? I am here for y'all. Artem goes on to say, I would say attractiveness is subjective, but the more socially acceptable you like conventionally attractive, the higher luck you have of people perceiving. Yeah. Okay. So here's the simple answer, Artem. For the most part, everyone, I know this is going to fucking anger the hell out of red pillars. For the most part, everyone is pretty good looking. It's likely that their presence, their purpose, and their health is low. Okay? So, let's talk about health. Let's say you value in health a good body, healthy body. Well, what is a healthy body? That's subjective too. Let's say you have deemed healthy bodies to be very low body fat. That's it, very low body fat. Do you have a healthy body by your standards? There's a likelihood that the person that you want to meet, it's in all likelihood that the values you have for the people that you want to meet, those people also hold those values as well. So if you value a body with low body fat, it's likely that the person also does too. Let's say you don't value a body with very low body fat. That's not the biggest deal to you. In fact, you like people that have more body fat. That's attractive to you. It's likely that that person, the people that you're attracted to, also feel that way. So, now I could say it again. If you are not healthy, you will not be attractive. But I had to preface that with, it's the kind of health that you believe is healthy. The person that you're looking for, in all likelihood, not always, there's always anomalies. In all likelihood, the person that you're attracted to is going to have the same values for health as you do. If you don't want to match the values that you are expecting in others, I don't know what to say to you, but I'm sorry, but most people are attractive as long as they are matching their own health standards in terms of physical. That's why guys like Adrian Brody, or let's do Adam Driver as a better example. Adam Driver's, yeah, really tall, but I'm sorry, Adam Driver is not traditionally attractive. He's not. Somebody in a YouTube comment said, Anthony, you look like what Adam Driver would look like if his face was put back together right. Adam Driver has very low body fat and high muscle. And he has a great haircut. If we look at this face right here, what do I see? I see a purposeful face. I see somebody that has purpose. I see somebody that is present in the moment. And I see somebody that he believes to be healthy. Okay? Adam Driver, if he was not living the healthy life that he believed to be healthy, let's say he believed that being fatter was unhealthy and he was fatter, this face would not be so pretty. I think he's a great example. I think there's a ton of examples just like him. But guess what? A lot of women love Adam Driver. Not just for his looks, okay? For his personality, for the way he carries himself. That's your presence. That's your purpose. Okay? Artem says, Adam Driver's perfect because he's not traditionally attractive. I don't know what Quoves, but even Quoves has done a video on this. But here's the thing. No, like, most people are not traditionally attractive. Like, it's the red pill is constantly trying to make a case for themselves. Nobody's fucking traditionally attractive. There's only a few people in the world that are traditionally attractive. I like, it's like frustrating because it's so painstakingly obvious, but like red pillars just seem to keep being more delusional about just obvious shit. Matthias says, I've been attracted to people who are larger than me. Hold on. Let me pull it up. I've been attracted to people who are larger than me mainly because of their self-esteem and they're like Jack from Titanic. I find their confidence attractive. Artem says, yeah, exactly. The only people I've met where I think they aren't attractive to me are usually unhealthy, like they don't shower or aren't in shape. Like me, depends a lot. Remember, key phrase, healthy the way I want it. What I believe to be healthy there. That's my phrase. What I believe to be healthy. It's hard to get it out of your head. People I used to find attractive, I found less attractive after engaging with too much black pill content of what people should look like. Yeah. The red pill, the black pill, it mangles your brain. It mangles reality for you. That's the other thing is like most of these red pill, black pill people, they're not meeting people. They're not out constantly socializing, getting to know people, starting relationships with people. And because of that, they don't know the true answers. They just know what they made up on 4chan. Let's see what else we got here. Zach says, what are some general good tips for a first date? Okay, so I talk about this. I'm going to tell you, but I'm just going to begin by saying I have 2 courses out right now. One called Textual Healing, where I break down exactly how to go on a first date off of a dating app. Next, I have a conversation course out on Skillshare. It's free. You can click the link in the description of this video if you want to get my free course on conversation. It's 4 hours long. I think it's a great piece of work. And I more lightly talk about how to go on a first date. I am going to be releasing a really big course in the next few months called Dating for Introverts, where I will go into detail, extreme detail on how to go on a date, how to go on a first date. But, I mean, my answers are going to be, yeah, I mean, if you want me to have general tips, I could talk about it for hours. Get specific with your questions about what to do on a first date, and I could give much better answers, because I'm just going to give general answers right here, which is literally treat the person like you're talking to your best friend. Most people don't do that. They're scared of being in the friend zone. Don't feel like that. People that are attracted to each other, and easily attracted to each other, they just act like they're best friends with each other. Have as much fun as possible. Make sure you express your attraction to the person when you feel it. Do not wait until the end of the night to express your attraction. Or getting intimate with somebody is going to feel a lot more difficult. It's going to feel a lot weirder to initiate intimacy with somebody on a date when you don't express attraction earlier on in the date. In fact, I believe the first thing that you should do the second you see the person is give them a hug, kiss them on the cheek, and tell them how hot they look. Get it right, like put it right on the table. This is a date. This is because we're attracted to each other and we want to get to know each other more and have a great time. Remember, this is a date. This is not a business meeting. This is not a friends meeting. It's a date. And when you do that, you kind of break that ice. You kind of make it more datey, more intimate right off the bat. Hillian says, do you think meeting people online is better than meeting people in your everyday life? No, I don't. However, the way that most people meet people in everyday life is bad. If they were efficient in doing so, this is going to be my Dating for Introverts program that I'm going to release in the next couple months. I'm going to go into that in detail, but generally find, build, create tribes, like-minded interest groups where you can meet people without having to approach them at a bar and having that cold approach. Go to places where it's all warm approaches, where the person that you're approaching, they're excited for you to approach them. Find ways to make that happen. I'm going to be holding parties at my house soon. I used to hold parties. Holding parties is the best way to meet people. It's the best. Nobody does it. Why not? Why don't you have get-togethers at your place? Why? It's literally the easiest thing in the world. Don't go to a bar. Don't approach somebody on the street. Don't spend hours swiping on a dating app. Literally just have a party. How do I do that? Go to meetup.com. You have an interest? Say, chess tournament, my house. Magic the Gathering game, my house. Whatever it is. Whatever the hell interest, party, experience that you want to give to people, go to meetup.com, create an event. You have people you know that share your interest. Tell them, hey, I want to have a little get-together at my house. Bring friends. Bring people that I don't know. Let's all bring new people to this place, and so we all can meet new people. You just literally have people entering your home wanting to meet you. It's like the easiest thing in the entire world. Okay. Artem says, you know what's funny is that the same guys who are afraid their girlfriend having a guy friend will cheat are the same guys saying the friend zone can't be escaped. I know. It's all red pill bullshit. I mean, it's all just insecurity. There's literally zero merit to any black pill, red pill shit. Matthias says, I actually wonder how I stopped believing in the friend zone, like it just doesn't exist to me anymore. Exactly. It doesn't exist. Dan says, guys also need to stop thinking being friends with women is bad. Yeah, just what Matthias said. If you're friends with a woman, she could introduce you to her friends and it will be much more. Here, how about this? How about this concept? Have you ever thought that being friends with a lot of women makes you good with women? I know any red pill turd that hears that, they're gonna go, no, it's not. That's just gonna make you a simp. That's gonna make you a little bitch. That's not gonna make you gotta hang out with dudes to know how to be with women. Then you'll have your masculine presence. It's just not true. It's just not true. I love women, so I like making friends with women. And because of all my life, I had a ton of women friends. I'm just really good with women. Why am I really good with women? Because I have had multiple female best friends. I've had tons of female friends. And I know how to make friends with women really easily because of that. I know how to have fun with them instantly. I know how to connect with them instantly. Now think about it. Going from that to dating, hooking up with them, versus going from having little experience with women, no ability to make friendship with women, and then trying to hook up, get intimate, date. Think about it. It's like completely different. It's so much easier if you already know how to connect with them immediately. Then intimacy is just a hop, skip, and a jump away. You literally just express your attraction to the person and do physical pinging, verbal pinging, more stuff that we're going to talk about in the Dating for Introverts course that's coming. And that I do talk about quite often in the conversation class that I have on Skillshare. Link in the description, guys. Yeah. Good stuff, y'all. And we're going to end it here. I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank Hillian for the donation. That means a lot. I want to thank Matthias and Ben for being here and Shayla for being here. They are my members. They are my true betas. And because of that, when I release the Dating for Introverts course in a couple months, well, they're going to have a nice hefty discount on that course because they are members of the Betas podcast. They also have access to the Discord that I hang out in, and we get to chat with each other in between streams. Hillian says, how do you become a member? There's literally a button below the video that says join. If you can't find that join button, maybe update your app, maybe go on the YouTube webpage instead of the phone, or just click on my channel instead of the here. I'm gonna go into my stream right now. Let's see. I don't think I could. Yeah, 1 second. I don't know if I'm able to see it because I'm in that account right now, but if you go into the Betas podcast channel, let's see, I'm going to do that right now. Oh, that's a pretty good delay. It's only a couple seconds. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the member button. Let me try to find it. Maybe. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me try this. I think it's this. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, there's the link right there, everybody. So if anybody wants to become a member, support the show, and like I said, get a lot of benefits, I just pinned the link to join Betas. Become a true beta. Be proud of your beta-ness. We're so much better than the alphas, guys. Alphas are boring. Who fucking wants just cavemen walking around? So if you do that, you go to this page right here. Oh, oops. Wait, sorry. Here we go. Here it is. So if you click that link, you will be a beta friend, a friend of me, a friend of all betas. Or if you want to support the channel, which is really what the next rung is, it's about supporting the channel. It's about supporting me. You can pay $25 a month, and then you get really big discounts on my stuff. Now, if you become a ruler of the Betaverse and you want to pay $50 a month, now, obviously, you don't have to do this. This is out of the kindness of your own heart. You get a secret surprise along with all of the other benefits that you get in this. I won't tell you what that surprise is, but you get a secret surprise. And that's it, y'all. I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that there's like an active chat where I get to hang out with you guys. Matthias says, what's your P.O. box address? I don't have a P.O. box. You could DM me if you want to send me anything. I'm not going to dox myself right now. And that's it, everybody. Thank you. Next week, we are going to have more fun things. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you live where Matthias lives, that's 2 in the morning. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm so happy that you're here. I can't say it enough how much I love that you guys are here, that I get to help you, that we get to chat with each other.